Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great honor to have you here. And today we witness the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country.
现在特朗普在
Very sad thing to
说，
watch. A corrupt sitting president had his
我
top
们这一次目睹
political
了
opponent
整个国家
arrested on fake
最
and
邪恶、最令人
fabricated
发指
charges
的
of
权
which
力的
he
滥用，
and numerous other
这也
presidents
是
would
他
be
认为非常
guilty.
可悲的一件事情。
Right in the middle of a presidential election
他
in
认
which
为
he's
是现
losing
在
very
的总统，也
badly.
就是拜登和他的
This is
以
called
及他
election
最有力的
interference and
竞
yet
争
another attempt to
政治
rig
上的
and
候选
steal
人，
a
也就是他自己
presidential
是
election.
被虚假的
More
逮捕了，
importantly, it's a
并且
political
是这些指
persecution
控也
like
都是虚
something
伪捏
straight
造
out
的。
of a fascist or communist nation. This day will go down in infamy, and Joe Biden will
他认
forever
为
be
这样的话，
remembered
他
as not
也
only
就
the
是现
most
行的总
corrupt
统，也就
president
是
in the history of
拜
our
登总
country,
统
but perhaps
是
even more importantly,
也会
the president
在
who
竞选
together
当
with
中
a
输得
band of
非常
his
的惨。
closest thugs,
他认
misfits,
为
and
现在这个
Marxists
特朗
tried
普
to
认为现在的
destroy
这一切的行为都是
American
由于
democracy.
选举的对于选举的干预行
But
为。
they will fail, and we will win
他是因为
bigger and better
拜登
than
想
ever
通过这种
before.
操纵和虚假的行为来窃取总统竞选上的成功。他认为这是
Charging a
企图
former
操纵和
president of the United States under the
这样的一种政治
Espionage
迫
Act
害。
of 1917.
他认为这个政治迫害可以
An
说
act
是来自
for a
法西
crime
斯，
so
甚至
heinous
是
that
说
only
是
the death penalty
他
would
的
do, and
拜
threatening me with
特朗普认为
400
拜登就
years
是
in
共产
prison
主义。
for possessing my own presidential
他说
papers,
这一
which
天将
just
会被
about
刻在
every
历史
other
的耻辱
president
上
has done, is one of
瞧
the
拜
most
登将会
outrageous
永
and
远被
vicious
刻在
legal
历史的
theories
耻辱
ever
上。
put
他是
forward
这
in
个
an
国家
American
历
court
史
of
上
law.
最腐败的总统，
The espionage act
而且他和他最
has
亲近
been
的那一
used to
帮
go
都
after
是暴徒
traitors and spies. It
他们
has nothing to
是
do with
不
a
和人
former
民站在一起的，
president
他们是
legally keeping
马
his
克思
own
主义者，
documents.
试图通
As
过这种方式
president,
来
the
摧
law
毁
that
美国的民
applies
主
to。this case is
他
not
认为自己
the
会越挫越
Espionage
勇
Act,
会
but
赢
very
得更
simply
大、
the
更好的胜
Presidential
利
Records
来。
Act, which is not even mentioned in this
根据
ridiculous 44-page
反间谍法
indictment.
审判美国前总
Under
统，
the Presidential Records Act, which is civil, not
是
criminal,
他认为这是一种
I had every
非常
right to
不
have
合理、
these
令人
documents.
发指的
the
犯
crucial
罪行
legal
为。
precedent is laid out in the most important
只有
case
死刑
ever
才
on the
能够解
subject
决
known as the
眼下的这
Clinton
个
Socks
威胁，
case.
并且还威胁我说，如果我
You know
有
what that means?
我明明拿的是自己的总统文
After
件，但
leaving the White
还
House,
是
Bill
威胁我
Clinton
要
kept
判我400年的监禁。
79 audio tapes in his sock drawer. They included discussions
反
of
间的
U.S.
所谓的反间谍法，它
military
一直是用
involvement in
来
Haiti,
应对
discussions of U.S. foreign
对外
policy, both
的
defense and
贸易
offense,
或者
and
是
Cuba.
间谍这种行为上的，
Recordings of
和
President
前总统，
Clinton's
也就是我合法
conversations
保留
with
自己的文件是完全没有任何关系
all
的。
of the many foreign leaders at the time. Think of that.
作为总
Sensitive
统，
facts
我
about
并不
trade
能够
negotiations
并
taken from
对这个间谍法
presidential
我是并不
briefings,
适用的。
discussions with the Secretary of State about
这
conflict
份
in
荒唐的
Bosnia and
44
much,
页的
much
起诉书
more.
中甚至都没有
Very
提到
big
过这一
stuff.
点。
Not only was Bill Clinton never even considered
这
for
是
criminal
这完全是民事
prosecution
行为，而
based
不是犯
on the
罪。
tapes he
我有
took.
权利拥有这些文
But
文
when he
件。
was sued for them, he won the case. Judge Amy Berman Jackson's decision states under the statutory scheme
在这里他提
established
到
by the
了
Presidential Records Act.
前总统美国
The
前总统克
decision
林顿
to segregate personal materials from presidential records is made by the president during the president's term and in the president's sole
他提到，就是克林
discretion.
顿虽然当时的情况很不利，但是他也
Any
靠
normal administration, even an opposing one, would consider that to be the end.
在克
But
林顿
not
总
the
统的录音当
corrupt
中
Biden
提到了非常多的外国领导
administration.
人，有
The
非常多
Sox
敏感的案
decision,
件。
as it's known,
但是最
also
后克林
states,
顿还
quote,
是
the National
赢得了官
Archives
司呀。
and Records Administration, or NARA, does not have the authority to designate material as
根据
presidential records. They don't have the authority.
总统记录法
NARA does not
制
have
定
the
的
tapes in question, and NARA lacks any right, duty,
总
or
统
means to
任期
seize
内，总
control
统
of
全
them.
权
This
处
is
理
law.
有权利
The
全权处
president
理
enjoys unconstrained authority to make decisions regarding
获
the
得的
disposal of
个人
documents.
信息。
That's unconstrained to make that decision.
这
Neither
个
the
是
archivist
非常合
nor
理、非常正
Congress
常
has the
的。
authority to veto
所
the
以说，
president's decision.
拜登
The
政
Presidential
府这一
Records
行为
Act
是
does not
非
confer
常
any
腐败的。
mandatory or even discretionary authority on the archivist to classify records. Under the statute, this
而且
responsibility is left solely to the President of the United States. Think of that. That's the decision.
包括国家
Think
档
of
案
that.
和记录，
Now just
他们
think
没有
of
办
that.
法将这些
In other words,
材
whatever
料
documents a president decides to take with
把
him,
来
he has
定
the
义为
right
是
to do so.
总统记录。
It's an absolute right. This is
我
the
没有这个
law.
权利。
And that is something that people have now seen, and it couldn't be more clear. They ought to
在
drop
总统
this
任期
case
期间，他享
immediately
有不
because
受
they're
约束的
destroying
权利
the。country.
无论是怎样处理他的
And
文
this is
件，
why
都
no other
是
president,
不受约
even
束
those
的。
who kept far more documents than I,
而档案
has
管理员
ever
和国会都
been
无权
even investigated,
否决总
let
统的
alone
决定。
charged with a crime. Because the sham indictment put forward by the Biden administration included staged photographs of boxes at Mar-a-Lago, many people have asked me why I had these boxes. Why did you
所以
want
其
them?
实换句话
The
说，
answer, in addition to having every right
在
under
这
the
个
Presidential
条
Records
款
Act,
下
is that these boxes were
这一个权
containing
利
all
是完
types
全
of
归
personal
完全
belongings,
归于
many,
美
many
国总统
things,
的。
shirts
也
and
就是说，
shoes, everything.
我只要是总
As
统
can be
想
seen
拿，
in
他
the
就可以
picture
拿。
where someone, not me, I wonder who it might have been, dumped one of the very neatly arranged boxes all over the floor. They were full of newspapers, press clippings,
因
thousands of
为
pictures,
拜登
thousands and
政府
thousands of
提
White
出的
House
这种虚假的
pictures.
指控，
The White House photographers, some are with us today. They took so many pictures, and we saved all of them, and they were in those boxes. Clothing, memorabilia, and much, much more.
除了
I hadn't had
有
a
很
chance to
多人
go
问
through
我为
all
什
the
么要保留
boxes.
这
It's
些
a
东
long,
西，
tedious
而我的
job.
回答
Takes
是
a long
除了
time,
我是合
which
法
I
行
was
使总
prepared
统
to
记录
do,
法
but I have a very
所
busy
规定
life.
的
I've had a very busy life. They make
所
it
有
more
我
busy
应当
because
享
you're
有的
always
权利之外，
fighting.
这些里面还包括很多我的个人物品，比如说我的
And
衣
under
服、
the
鞋
SOX
子
decision,
等等。
there seemed to be no rush. I wasn't in a
这
rush
跟大家
because that
现在
decision
能
was
在
a law.
市
The
面
other
上看
picture
到
that
的
was
这
so
些
vile, you
图片
remember
是
that
不一样
one,
的。
was angry and corrupt, was the photo staged by the FBI. And those that raided Mar-a-Lago, they were putting documents all over the floor. Remember that famous picture? All over, said confidential, said presidential, said all sorts of things.
也有
And
很
it
多
was supposed to
白
be
宫
there
省师
like
他们
it was that way when they raided. It
他
wasn't
们也
that way. They
是
put them there,
今
took the
天也
picture
出
and
席了
released it
这一次
illegally
的
to
活
the
动。
press. They took my medical records, my
有
passport, my
很
birth
多我的
certificate.
关于我记录的照片，比如说
They even brought a safecracker.
一些值
This
得
is a professional
纪念的
safecracker. They
有
brought
纪
into
念意义的
Mar-a-Lago.
时刻。
And they broke into my safe, and you know what they found? Nothing. There was nothing there. Nothing there. Found zero. According to the Presidential Records
他们
Act, which was a big deal,
拍下照片，
I was supposed to negotiate with NARA, which is exactly what I
之
was
前
doing
也
until
有人说
Mar-a-Lago
这
was
些
raided
这些
by
还
gun-toting FBI
涉及
agents.
绝密
I
机
have
密的照
security
片，
tapes of it. I
但
gave
事实
them
情况不是
security
这样的
tapes。of everything.
这些照片都
In
是
a
通过非
flagrant
法的途
violation
径
of
流
the Fourth
传到
Amendment of the
媒体那
Constitution,
里
which
去的。
protects the right against
他们拿
unreasonable
到了我的
search
这些医疗证
and
明
seizure.，
他们拿到的只是我的医疗证明、我的护照、我的出生证明，
And Sebastian, you covered
然后
very
他们
well,
发
I
现没
must
有
say.
什么就道歉了。
Very well. I'm not the one who thinks I'm above the law. I'm the one that followed the law. I'm the only one. It's
他
Joe
们当
Biden
时
and
是非
his
法撬开
corrupt
了我的保险
Department
箱
of，
但是呢，
Injustice
结果
who
他们发现了什么，
think
什
they
么都
are
没有发
above the
现。
law. Never before have the two standards of justice in our country been more starkly revealed. Joe Biden had troves of classified
我这里也
documents
有
from
监
his
控录
time
像，
as
我也
vice
把这些监
president
控录
and
像
even
都
as a
递交上去
senator,
了。
which was completely and totally illegal. In fact, other
我们
senators
的
heard
宪
about
法
it.
第4修正案当中
Dick
明确
Durbin
规
heard
定
about it.
会
You
保
have to
护
see
公
his
民的权利，
response. There's no way that's totally
不能够
illegal. Took
遭
him as a
受
senator out of his
非
skiff.
法的搜
They
查
were。shocked when they found out. They actually thought it was impossible to do. Biden sent 1,850 boxes to the University of Delaware, making the
我一
search
直是那
very,
个
very
遵纪守
difficult
法
for
的人，
anybody.
而乔拜
And he
登和他
refuses
的
to give
腐
them
败
up,
政府
and he refuses to
才
let
是
people even look at them,
认
and
为
then
自
they
己可以
say
凌驾
how
于法律
he's
之上的人。
behaving so nicely. Many of Biden's classified
乔拜
documents
登
were
的书
in
架上有他担任
Chinatown,
副总
DC,
统的时候，甚至参议员
which
的
is
时候的机密
shocking
文件，
considering his
这些
family
才是非法
receives
的
so
呢。
much money from China. I wonder how many times the friends of ours from China reviewed those documents. Chinatown, DC. Others were unsecured at his so-called Penn Biden Center in Washington, which paid
有很
Biden
多拜登家
approximately
的
$1
机密
million
文
a
件
year.
都
The money
是存
supposedly
在
coming from
华
China
盛
and
顿
still other
的
classified documents were
华
strewn
人街那里。
all over his garage floor, where his now
这
famous
也是
Corvette
令
is
人非
stored. He's so
常
proud
震
of that
惊
car.
的，尤其是他的
There
家
was no
族
security
又
and the
从
door
中国
was
那里
left
收了那么多的
open.
钱。
Most of the time, it was open. All of those classified documents, all of those documents strewn all over the
有
floor,
人
piled up like junk.
有人在他
Unlike me, who
位于
had
华盛顿的所
absolute
谓拜登
declassification
中
authority
心，
as president,
每年都要支付他100
Joe
万
Biden
美
as
元。
vice president had no
这些都
authority
是
to declassify and no right to possess the documents. He had no right.
在
Instead
那
of
他
falling
的
under the
他那里
Presidential
才
Records
是
Act,
到处都有机密文
Biden's
件。
actions fell under a much stricter federal records act, which has very, very tough criminal penalties. Yet nothing happens to Crooked Joe. Nothing happened. Have you heard
他
anything
的
about
那
the big
些
search
机
for
密
his
文件
documents?
都
No,
在
only me.
车库里，车库里连
Most
门
infamously of
大门
all,
都不锁，
Hillary Clinton set up
就像
an
散落
illegal
在一
private
地，
server in her basement.
像
You
垃
never
圾
heard
一
the
样堆得
story.
到处都是。
With the deliberate intention of violating public information laws so she could hide her
这可不像
pay
我
for
是
play
拥有
scandals at the Clinton foundations or whatever. Hillary stored vast
总
quantities of
统，
classified
我
and
当时身为
sensitive
总统的
information on her
绝
illicit
对
server.
保密，
Some of it happened to
绝对保密权
leak.
利。
It leaked
而
into Anthony
乔拜
Weiner's
登当时可
computer.
只是
Remember
副总统
Anthony Weiner?，
他是没有任何
Into
的
his
权利
computer.
去
You don't want to be
解
on
密
his
的，
computer.
也没有任何权利
And
去
all
持
of
有
it
这些
was
文件。
illegal.
这些文件它
Because
根本就
thankfully
没有任
She was
何
never president. She
持有
didn't have
的
the powers
可
to
能。
declassify. Thank you. Thank you. She didn't have the powers to declassify. It's a big difference. And neither did Joe. You know, Joe didn't have. Do you mind? Have a drink. It's a little bit cooler than it was, but it's pretty
他
hot out here.
拜登这些行为应该受到
Thank
更
you.
严
Happy
格的
birthday. Happy birthday.
联
Great
邦
birthday.
记录法案的管理性，他应该受到严厉的刑事惩罚。但是呢，他却什么都没有发生。
Nice birthday, isn't it? Nice birthday. Wonderful birthday. They were saying happy birthday. I was with Eric and Laura, the kids. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Happy. And I said, oh, great. I just got charged with, they want 400 years approximately. If you add them all up, a fake 400 years. Oh, thank you, darling. That's so nice. It's a wonderful birthday. Of a
也就是
congressional
6
subpoena
月14
already
日是
launched.
特
The
朗普
subpoena
的
was
生日。
there, and she decided to delete, acid wash, and then smash and destroy her cell phones with a
刚
hammer.
才也是有很多观众对他
And then they say, I
表示了生日快乐。
participated in obstruction. Now think of it. That's called obstruction.
他刚才也
There's
算了一
never
下自己的
been
刑期，如果加在一
obstruction
起的话，
as
就有
grave as
400年
that.
了。
She did this in the face of everything, and yet nobody did anything about it. The FBI and the DOJ protected her, did not issue subpoenas, did not use a grand jury, did not execute search warrants, and then the
3万多
corrupt
封
head of the
电子邮
FBI,
件。
James Comey, declared no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case. Can you believe it? And that was just one of many items. Hillary Clinton broke
虽
the
然
law
特朗普表
and
示，
she
虽然
didn't
自
get
己
indicted.
积极的
Joe Biden
参与到
broke
了
the
这个
law
事件当中，
and in
但
many other
是
ways we're finding out.
希拉里并没有受到任何的惩
And
罚。
so far has not gotten indicted. I did everything right and they indicted me.
他没有受到
But you
传
know, we're
票，
serving as a great
也
example. In the
没
case
有
of Bill Clinton's
陪审
national
团，
security advisor,
也没
remember
有
that?
搜
Sandy
查令。
Berger. He was caught stealing classified documents from the National Archives, very big ones, very
联邦
important ones, by
调查局
stuffing
局
them
长
in his
却
pants.
表
That's
示，
pretty.
任何
And putting
有
them
理性的
also
检
in
察
his
官都不
socks.
会
And he
诉讼。
destroyed them and cut the tape with
特朗普
scissors, cut them all
认
out.
为这个是非常腐败的一种行为。
What Berger did was
他认为希拉
highly
里克林
illegal,
顿
but he
违
was
反了法
given
律，他没有
nothing, no jail
而
time,
他没有
nothing,
受到
nothing
起诉。
happened.
乔拜登
There
违
are
反了
countless
法
other
律，也没有被
examples.
起
Bill
诉。
Clinton,
但是我一
who
个
I happen to like, hard to
一
believe,
个
right? Before I
遵纪
did
守
this,
法
I
的
was actually
人，
quite
他们
friendly
却
with
起诉
him.
了我。
Nice guy. They should have used him a little bit more as an advisor on the 2016 election. He said, you know, you better get to
还有
Wisconsin, you're going to lose. No, we're not. You better get
还
to
有
Michigan, you're going to lose. No, we're not. They did. Bill Clinton lost the nuclear codes, and absolutely nothing was done about it. He lost the nuclear codes. The George W. Bush White House lost 22
还有之前在
million emails.
被捕
A
的
record.
桑
NARA
迪
cannot assure complete
从
transfer
国
of
家
any
档案
of the
馆
Bush records.
窃
A
取了机密
document
文件。
shredding truck was spotted on the way to Dick Cheney's house. Can you imagine?
并且
Hillary
毁坏了
Clinton
这些
took
机密文
hundreds
件，
of
但是最
thousands
后
of
呢，
dollars
也没
worth
有
of
坐牢。
furniture, china,
什么事情
flatware
都
rugs, and more from the
发
White
生。
House. And she wasn't
这样的例子我还可以
prosecuted.
举
How about
很
that one? She
多。
took the furniture and the china. How about if Trump did that? You think Trump would have a little problem? The horrific violations of my rights by crooked Joe Biden's weaponized Department of Injustice are unthinkable. It's unthinkable.
他还提到了希拉里·克林顿还从白宫拿走了
They lawlessly
价值几十万美元的各种物品，
what they did
但是却没有受到起诉。
to our lawyers, all of our lawyers. They've done things that were absolutely horrible and unthinkable. The leaking has been unbelievable and highly illegal. They leak. We've learned more about, from the Washington Post, New York Times, about the DOJ's boxers hoax. It's a boxers
乔拜登是
been from prosecutors.
是满嘴谎言的，他对我的权利进行了可怕的侵犯，
But they'll do better now because
这简直难以想象。
the only way they survive, but they'll end up dying. But it's not supposed to be that way. We don't want to learn from the times. We don't want to learn from leaks. We want to learn from people we're supposed to learn from.
这些民主党人用了不合法的手段，
But we learn nothing about the Biden
他们对我的律师
so Robert Herr's investigation.
权利也
Robert doing
也进行了侵犯。
respected, very nice person.
这些事情很难想象，而且也是违法的。
Deranged lunatic, which are many times the magnitude of ours.
他们
Both number
非法泄露了很多信息，比如说《华盛顿邮报》和《纽约时报》
totally exonerated Mike Pence. I'm happy about that. Mike did nothing wrong, but he happened to have classified documents in his house. But they exonerated him, and Biden is a different story in so much. You have to really think about what I said as a senator. We took all of those documents. It's unprecedented. The prosecutor
我们不想通过这种通过泄露给媒体的方式来了解事情的真相，我们应该要从真相在的地方了解真相。
He's a behind-the-scenes guy, but his record is absolutely atrocious. He does political hit jobs. He's been known to
他认为这一次针对他的这个史无前例的案件的检察官是
absolutely ruined his life.
他，特朗普将他定性为是一个暴徒，
Only to have the case overturned 8-0 by the Supreme Court. He
他认为是他操纵了这所有的一切。
By the way,
他认为这个检察官是专门做各种政治方面的压迫的工作的。他逮捕了很多州长，并且还毁了弗吉尼亚州州长的生活和让他的家人也备受创伤。但是结果呢？结果是最高法院以8-0推翻了此案。但是他做出的伤害却没法被撤销了。在这里，特朗普也是感谢了在场的所有人。
My family, what they have done to my family is horrible. He also tried to railroad John Edwards on a completely bogus legal theory that didn't hold up in court. It's no wonder this raging lunatic was shipped off to The Hague to prosecute war criminals using globalist tribunals, not beholden to the Constitution or the rule of law. Two things Jack Smith clearly disdains. You take a look at this guy. He looks like a thug. But then I watched him make a speech the other day, and he was trembling because it wasn't his territory. He feels much safer in the inner sanctums of the Department of Injustice, where he can be in his room and scream at people. He's a raging and uncontrolled Trump hater, as is his wife, who also happened to be the producer of that Michelle Obama puff piece. It was total puff piece. This is the guy I've got. Don't forget, this persecution is being done by the same weaponized agencies that for 7 years have been running illegal psychological warfare campaigns against the American people, much as if they were trying to destabilize a foreign country. From the Russia hoax, to the no collusion Mueller witch hunt, to impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2. The 51 lying intelligence officers, how about them? They said it's Russia disinformation, and they knew it wasn't, which made about, according to some of the great pollsters that are right here, made from anywhere from a 10 to 17 point difference. And yet we still got more votes than any sitting president in history in the second election. And we actually did much better in the second election than we did in the first election. The fake dossier paid for by the Democrats. How about the fake dossier? Remember that one? You think that was easy to go home and say, hello, darling, how are you, when they read about that? It wasn't easy at all. Spying on my campaign, we caught them spying on my campaign. The FBI, Twitter files, and so much more. It's all been a battle of disinformation, one thing after the other, and all to protect the radical left.
他现在提到了，是
It's also no coincidence that these charges against me came
在
down the
第二
very
次的
same day.
大选当中，实际
Evidence
上比
revealed
第
Joe
一
Biden
次
took
的
a
效果更好。
$5 million bribe from Ukraine. Took a $5 million bribe. But the FBI and the Justice Department don't even want to talk about it. They showed something on television tonight.
他
It
提
had
到
zero
所
time
谓
on the
的
three
民
major
主党
networks,
的
zero.
假
But
档案
my impeachment had almost all the time. I think I had 351 minutes. They had no minutes. Okay? I think a lot of people are going to vote. Yeah.
他
I
也
think
提
a
到
lot
了
of
说
people
不
are
想
going to vote.
不会再让民主党
I
监
will
视
tell
自
you, I
己的
just
竞
left
选活动。
Miami, and I've never seen love in the
他认为
streets
这一
like
切
that.
都
I've
是
never
关于
seen
假
it.
新
We've seen a
闻
lot
的
of love.
情报战
I've
争，
never seen love like that because they
这些
know
都
they
是
know what we all go through. They know what we've
激
gone
进的
through,
左
and they
派
see
的
it, and they're smart. And you know,
做法。
many of those people coming from Cuba, Venezuela, other countries, they've seen this happening to their countries.
他
I
也
used
认
to say
为
that
这些指
the
控
United
在
States, if
同
it
一
keeps
天
going this way, it's going to be Venezuela on steroids. And now we're buying oil
指
from
控
Venezuela.
被
Can
指
you
控到
believe
自
it?
己
We have
身
more
上，也不是一
liquid
种巧合。
gold under our feet than any other nation, but we're
他
buying
提到
tar
证据显示，
from
乔拜
Venezuela,
登
and we're
在乌
refining
克
it
兰
in
受贿
Houston.
500万美元
The。dirtiest, worst oil probably anywhere in the world, and we're
但
refining
是
it.
联
So you
邦
can
调查局
imagine
和
what's
司法
going
部
up in the air, and our
根
beautiful
本
stuff
就
we're not taking out of the
无视了
ground
这
and
件
making
事
a
情
lot。of money and paying off debt. and reducing taxes still further, which we were in the process of doing. They want to distract from the real espionage and the real crime, so let's use President Trump to do so. Let's go out and let's indict President Trump so they don't talk about the $5 million bribe. Just yesterday, Senator Grassley revealed that the Burisma executive who allegedly paid the bribe reportedly has Crooked Joe on tape. They have 17 tapes, I understand. He must be a nice guy to deal with, right?
而且他也提到自己刚刚离开迈阿密的时候，他提到有很多支持者。
Remember, they impeached me for asking a simple question about Biden's corrupt dealings in Ukraine, and now they see that once again I was right.
他认为这些事情，这些人都感同身受。然后我就一直说，美国如果继续这样子的话，那就会成为委内瑞拉第二。现在我们也是在委内瑞拉买石油，但是你能想象我们其实我们地底的石油储存量其实是比其他任何国家都要多的嘛，但是我们还是从委内瑞拉来买，在休斯顿进行精炼。而在这个精炼过程当中，自然会造成很多环境污染。
But when that's taken away from us, when interest rates and taxes spiral upward in an uncontrolled way, when murders are allowed to roam, murders, these are horrible killers, murders are allowed to roam the streets of our Democrat-run cities unchecked. Incompetent district attorney in New York indicts Trump for a crime that everybody agrees, every pundit, everybody, there is no crime. But murderers go out and nobody ever even comes and knocks on their door, and they know they're there, and they know their rooms, and they know their locations, and they're roaming our cities all over. And some of them are coming in right now through our borders.
他认为包括乔拜登在内的左派，都有非常多的受贿赂的行为，但是却没有受到任何指控。
It won't stop with me. They will not hesitate to ramp up their persecution of Christians, pro-life activists, parents attending school board meetings, and even future Republican candidates, which they do. We must end it permanently, and we must end it immediately. Now that the seal, so important, is broken, the seal is broken by what they've done. They should never have done this.
通过逮捕自己的政敌来进行政治上的压迫的情况下，就不是所谓的民主了。而当我们重新回到政治主体地位的时候，就会很快的回到世界大哥的地位。停止通货膨胀，将能源。
To go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. Name a special prosecutor. And all others involved with the destruction of our elections,
他提到了自己的政治主张，就是首先一个是关闭。边境以及所有非法入侵美国的犯罪行为。让美国的能源自主，并且重新占据世界的主导地位，还要在24小时之内解决俄乌冲突。到时候我会任命一个真正的检察官，来追查美国历史上真正最腐败的总统，也就是乔拜登。而他们在摧毁我们，想让我们不会再次当选，而我们却在此刻还是会仍然继续当选。我们不仅要夺回美国，还会彻底消灭这些腐败。我们要把美国重新夺回自己的手中，让美国重新伟大。感谢大家。